Can we talk about that?
Fucking horse.
Right, back on the horse, episode 18.
18.
Happy New
That was
Year.
a fun age.
Yes.
It was fun.
Oh, I
Happy
missed
New
that.
Year, everyone out there.
Happy New Year, Leggy.
Now, 18, have you got a number?
Oh, I was looking it up and then I got distracted. I think it's a perfect number. Actually, I got it here. It's a perfect number in that, like, there's multiples and shit. That,
1 plus 8 is 9. Something.
it's a semi-perfect number. One that is equal to the sum of some or all of its divisors. So its divisors are 1, 2, 3, 6, and
Can we
9.
start again?
And then 3 plus 6 plus 9 equals 18.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Ah, excellent.
And
yeah.
also, here's another fact. There's 18 holes on a golf course.
Oh, that's very good.
There you go.
Do you remember your 18th? Did you have a big party for your 18th?
I was at Byron.
Well, yeah.
You were at Byron with me, weren't you, Jigs?
Oh, is that what we went to
I
Byron
remember at
for?
Byron. I turned 18 while we were down at Byron, so I couldn't go out.
Is that when we stayed in the backpackers?
Yeah.
And the guy we went with robbed that backpacker?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
There's sexual encounters.
Yeah, there was some
during
shit. Yeah, he went through some backpacker's bag.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that,
Also, that
guy
backpacker,
that
he was a
saved-
Japanese fella. He taught me to say, Biro rokuse kono ama motokoya.
Right.
Now that means, get me a fucking six-pack, bitch.
Really?
Yeah.
I know kakva tie situacija so guzrim servima. In Croatian is how's your bum for grubs.
That must come in handy.
Our Croatian stablemates, they might correct me on that. It's been a while since I've
Yeah,
said
I'd love
it,
to know how close I was in the old Japanese.
You remember your 18th party?
Yeah, it got gate crashed.
Did it?
It was fucking hosing down with rain.
Yeah.
Torrential flash flooding rain. And I think I invited 40 people or something, and I think about 100 and something
Shit.
turned up. It was fucking shocking.
Really?
At my parents' place, yeah.
The cops didn't roll up or...
No, they didn't. I did have to throw one guy out who was being quite inappropriate to my mum.
Oh.
B-Dog?
Yeah, yeah, we won't say his
wow.
name.
Name and shame. Go on. Name and shame.
No,
I can't
we
do
won't
it.
talk about that. He turned up the next day with flowers for my mum, though.
Oh, that's all right.
But yeah, it was a wild night. What about you? Can you remember yours?
I was in Toowoomba. I think, yeah, it was pretty
Sorry if that
quiet.
sounded like you were an old fuck.
Yeah, can I remember it? Benji, where were you? You were...
Yeah, I don't think I did much for mine.
Not
It's
much?
Pretty low key. I think I was working or something.
Yeah. I
Playing
think
a
my
gig.
21st was bigger. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so what we get over the break? We had a golf game, our annual
Yeah, we had our
tradition
annual game.
with Leroy. Yeah, that was
Fucking
good.
Leroy took home the turkey trophy again.
Again?
Usually
yeah, I
does.
was hopeless
Is
that
that when
day.
you had to mark the card because in that Ambrose or something? Because that
I
everyone
played in a
else in the hole had
Yeah, I played in a
contributed.
four-man Ambrose. This
Different
was a
game?
different
Different
thing, but
game.
I played in a four-man Ambrose, and it was a par 4, and we had a birdie, and two of Leroy's mates were playing with us. One fella hit the tee shot. We took his tee shot. Then another fella hit the approach shot. We took his approach shot, and Leroy knocked the putt in for birdie. And then he handed me the card and said, "Do you want to write down the score so you feel like you were part of that hole?" Like, you fucking prick.
And New Year's Eve, what did you just get up to? You guys were away, were you? Or
Oh yeah, we were up the coast. I usually go to bed these days, but now not. Can I start again?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I used to not go to bed.
Do you want to go to bed now?
So when I was in those
Yeah.
18 to probably 20, late 20s years.
Yep,
we'd
good-
we'd
great
stay up
content.
and just do stuff.
Party on.
Solid content.
Yeah,
Keep
this
going.
is great content. Really respecting the listeners' time. I can't even say listeners properly. But,
You're drinking again.
yeah. Then in the 30s years, kind of go to bed. But now the kids are at the age where they want to stay up, or jump in the pool or do something. So I got to stay up with them now.
You gotta
which
jump
is
in
fine.
the-
I actually like it, but
Jump in the pool at midnight,
Yeah,
the kids do.
We went on holidays on Christmas Day. New Year's Day.
All right.
So we were in bed pretty early. Tell you what hack I've learned. If you've got to drive up the sunny coast on that fucking Bruce Highway, do it on New Year's Day. Not a car on the road.
really?
We got up there in an hour and 20.
Shit, that's good.
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant. Bit of
Yeah.
speeding.
yeah, there would have been a bit of speeding in that time.
Yeah.
I stayed home alone, did nothing.
Yeah, I was
by
home.
choice. Yeah.
I was texting you. I was alone watching TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan
And
of New Year's.
were you up at the coast at that time, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were at
We just
Markula.
watch the. We usually have a little tradition. We all stay up with the kids and watch the fireworks on the TV, which is pretty rock and roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they usually have like a good thing in Sydney, like it's pretty big and like Paul Kelly and all the good bands.
Right.
But it was absolute dog shit this year.
Was it?
The music was just
Shit house.
not good.
Ah.
It
I
got
think I heard people complaining about it.
it got heaps of heat about it.
Yeah, okay.
So,
We were all at, the three of us, me, Ben and Scoop, were at Marcool at the same time. It was good, but we had torrential fucking rain.
Yeah.
I think they forecast 140 mil on the day after New Year's Day,
Yeah.
the second. So took the kids to Time Zone. We were there for like 2 hours. It was fucking packed.
Yeah.
But then we had good weather the rest of the holiday. On the way home, I said to the kids, what was your favourite part of the holiday? You know, beach every day, pool every day. What was your favourite part of the holiday? Time Zone.
Time zone. Yeah.
Motherfuckers, we can do that in Brisbane. Like, come
All right
on.
then. New Year's resolutions. Who you got?
Oh, I got one.
Okay,
Yeah.
you go, Jigs.
Yeah.
I usually have a crack at losing some weight and shit. You know, take better care of yourself. This time I decided to go a bit more well-rounded with my health. And it's more just take better care of myself.
Yep.
So I do want to lose some kegs. I'm the second heaviest I've been in my life. So I'm going to lose my goal. And I want you guys to keep me accountable to this.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose at least 10 kgs.
Right.
And I want you to check in with me.
I'd write it down, but
In-
someone's been
let's make
sucking
this-
on my pen.
I watched Scoot clean,
I'm still
pick
doing
his
it. I haven't
teeth.
got the thing out of my teeth yet.
He's picking his teeth with the lid of Leggy's pen. It's
Yeah,
fucking
That's
foul.
right. Yeah. So 10 kegs.
So can you keep me accountable? Maybe every second episode,
Should
check I'm still doing
Should
it.
we make it interesting with some financial?
Ooh.
No. Oh, we also
Wages?
need to talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to bet. You don't want to put money on it. You're not that committed to it, obviously.
No, I just can't
50
be
bucks.
fucked talk. We've got enough bets to talk
It's just
about.
$50.
What, that I can't do it?
Yeah, I don't think you can do it.
You're going to bet me
I
50
don't
bucks,
think
so I
you've got a
can't
time
lose
frame?
10.
In how long do you want to do it in?
I want to see. This is the
3
other
months?
thing is I want to. My goal is more about sustain. Like not. I always do rapid weight loss.
Yeah.
That I can't sustain. This is more about lifestyle change now. So I'm drinking less, eating better. I went to the fucking dentist today for the
Yeah.
first time in 6 years.
Shit.
So
And they
can't
found
be
shit, didn't
fucked
they? If you hadn't
making
have gone, they wouldn't have found all those problems.
yeah, that crown, that $1,500 crown, I'm now up for. So yeah, that's more well-rounded, looking after myself. Like
then
I've got
maintaining it.
I got a sore back at the moment. I would usually just put up with that shit until
Shag
it
is
goes
back.
away. Yeah, Shag is back. Shout out to Tash. Well, at least I said Tash. And, But I would usually just leave that. I'm actually going to go and get a scene too.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Scoot, what do you got?
We're trying to just more around the house, just get the house decluttered.
Oh, finish
organised.
projects, maybe? Or
Yeah,
what?
finish some projects. Get the kids just doing shit around the house, you know, like
Helping out more
Yeah,
and-
that
yeah.
sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
I built a little touchscreen system for their jobs now, so they can tick it
Oh.
off and they get little points on it and all that sort of
That's
stuff.
cool.
So, yeah, it's called
Excellent.
the mainframe,
Oh.
spelled with a Y and an N.
Could you release that as an app?
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Side hustle. Benji, you got any?
Yeah, we're gonna. We're currently very horny for gold.
Fucking hell.
Sorry. Let me clarify. Gold, like finding gold.
Yeah.
So our
So it's like
resolution is-
panning and shit.
Yeah, panning and detecting and that kind of stuff. So their resolution
Not like
is
going down to Michael Hill and just snatching it out of the cabinet.
Amazon. Yeah.
That horny. Yeah.
The actual gold panning. Not
Yeah,
the one
and
we're
like
talking about.
So the resolution is to get out another one. Every couple of weeks, just get out west
Cool.
and go out there and walk
Cool.
through some rivers, try not to get bitten by snakes, and
Yeah.
dig up for crystals and gold and that kind of stuff. So
brilliant.
The kids are liking it?
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
We did a little bit of illegal gold panning last weekend, which was cool.
Illegal.
Yeah,
How do you do that? Like in an illegal spot?
Trespassing.
a little bit of trespassing.
Yeah, cool. Is it down here?
No,
It's God's property.
no. Close though. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about where.
No, we
No,
definitely not.
no, don't do that.
They take your car if you get busted.
Oh, really?
They just go, yep, sorry.
Shit.
Do you,
Your car is branded too.
Yeah, it's a problem.
You know Patrick,
Yeah.
guitarist? You'd follow him?
Yeah, I'm going to hit him up and
Yeah.
get some top tips on
Yeah,
crystals.
he's amazing with the
He
stuff.
gets some stuff,
the
doesn't he?
crystals he finds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. Be good. Get out.
Cool. Awesome.
Shout out to Patrick.
What, you leg dog?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not telling anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going down the mantra of disappear for a month and don't tell anyone what you're doing.
Okay.
And then
for a month.
Yeah.
When?
like that. But I've already started. But I'll be here for the potty,
Okay.
but disappearing from a few things. And
Okay.
yeah. and then I'll come back in a month.
All right, I'll quiz you about that off air.
Yes.
That's quite.
It's just one of those ones where if you tell people what you're doing, I'm just trying it in a different way.
Okay.
So, yeah. So,
cryptic
we'll
as
see.
fuck.
I'll see how I go.
Now, before we move on,
Yes.
can I just, on the what have you been up to thing, can I just talk about one more thing?
Yeah, of course.
Scoot and I had a game of golf.
To-
When did we play golf? On Sunday.
right.
Bet still intact. We'll talk about where we got to
That's
with the bet.
right. We had
So we promised that we would give an answer
On
on
this
the
episode.
bet.
this episode.
So we'll come back to that.
Yep.
But before we do that, I just want to talk about something that happened.
What is
Right.
this going to be?
On the third hole,
Third way. Which one's that? Oh, the little one.
yeah,
Par 3.
Scoot suddenly announced, I think I've shit myself. And he was quite
On the third
concerned.
hole, was it?
And now we're so used to hearing Scott say, I think I shit myself now, that we all moved on from it pretty quickly. Then when we got to the 10th hole, so we stopped, got some drinks, went on to the 10th hole.
Yeah.
The three of us were on the tee and Scoot hadn't caught up to us yet. And he came down to the tee and he said, I did shit myself and it was bad. He said it took 5 big wipes. And then I asked,
So after the 9 hole, you went in and
and
I just had
then
a safety wipe. It's like
so you
and then it gets better.
6 holes.
guess.
And then I asked him the tombstone question, was it contained within the
Yes, it
cheeks?
was.
Yes.
And I said, was there any on the undies? And he said, I forgot to check my undies.
Oh no.
Then we got to the 11th hole and Scoot teed off.
What happened on that
And then
other hole?
after Scoot teed off, I went to tee off next and I bent down and put my tee in the
a par
ground.
5.
I smelt shit. I was near his bum. I smelt shit. Yeah. Anyway.
What's
It's all
that,
taken out
10K?
of context. That's not-
Why does this keep happening?
Do you know your contain within the cheeks now is getting out there
Is it?
amongst the public?
Oh, that's got to be
Yeah.
a shirt.
Everyone's saying,
Yeah.
yeah,
I reckon it should
contain
be a
within the
shirt.
Should
cheeks.
be, it should be shirts.
Yeah.
In cheeks.
Yeah.
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 It's all good.
Anyway,
Wow, it must have been what
I thought you were
dairy
talking about my
or
great putt. I thought that's where
he
that
did
was
hit a
going.
very good putt. We had 3 of us
What
hit
hole was that?
good putts. You hit a great. It doesn't matter that no one knows
Oh.
what course we're talking about.
It
It was the 7th, top tier.
No, 8.
7th.
No,
mate.
you're right. It was the 7th.
Yeah,
Wow.
top tier,
you did 6.
all the way down to the bottom tier in, and it was a good putt. It was.
So where'd you go with the bet now? Have you spoken?
So we
about
went
that?
around in
We'll
circles.
recap on what the bet was.
So the bet was
That we
10 grand if Scoot ever beats me at golf.
Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just the bet, and now it's changed.
Now I
He's
maintain.
backing out of it.
I maintain.
Yeah.
He's scared. Because I nearly beat you last week.
Well, that
The
was
other-
your opportunity. You didn't nearly beat me. I beat you by 9 shots.
Okay, but
11.
after
And that was
after
the
the
worst.
first 9, I was only losing by 1
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was equal with Jason on the weekend after 9 holes and still fucking confident
Okay.
I'd beat him, and I beat him by 12.
Well, if you're that confident, why don't we keep the original?
So
Well, we
what-
could. But here's my point.
Where we get to?
He's going to act like a dickhead here. But here's my point. We went around in circles with, if I'm going to risk 10 grand, there's got to be something in it for me.
Yes.
So I suggested that if I'm risking 10 grand, he's got to give me $100 per game or
Yeah.
something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah.
I think
Then
it's that
we adjusted to, well, it could be 2 grand.
Yep.
But you got to give me $5 a game or something like that, and we went through all that.
Yep.
Where I landed was, I want to just completely can it, and here's why.
one. Scared.
The reason I want to can it is, I don't want to play golf with Scoot. He is
But this is where he.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like a hero.
He's going to come
the
out
Good Bloke
smelling
Award.
Like
Yeah.
Not your
roses.
ass.
Yeah, well, you've
The
come out
opposite of
smelling
my
like shit, so I got to come out smelling like something.
This is going to be really, what's the word? Altruistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
answer.
just-
Yes, I bet.
Yeah.
I like helping Scoot, right? And even now, with the bet intact, I've been helping him line up putts and giving him pointers and shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to play golf with Scoot where I'm rooting for him to hit the ball in the shit. I want him to hit a shot and be able to go get in.
And get good at golf.
I don't want to be going, yeah, fuck yeah, he's hitting the shit again. I want him to embrace golf and be good at it.
I can see that.
If
point.
we continue with a bet, I'm going to continue to just... I'm not helping you. Like, I'm going to work against you. I'm going to give you some tips that make your golf worse. Just, separate your hands on the club and
So
hit it like this.
Is the bet off?
Okay, I'll
then?
do the opposite of everything you say.
Okay. Then I'll start telling you the truth. So I want to can it.
Come on, something interesting. Because if I beat you one day, I want to like just fucking Yeah. Okay. What about this? What about this?
How much
Something
did I
we
beat
can
you by
share
on
No,
Sunday?
because then you'll just throw the game.
The jet ski.
How much did I beat you by
Okay.
on
What
Sunday?
about this? 19 shots. That's only one shot a hole. Okay. So what about this? What about if I ever beat you at golf?
When you say 19 shots a hole, stablemate Leroy gets so fucking
That's
angry.
one shot a hole.
He fucking hates that. He's going to hate that. He hates it. It's like, that's not anything. That's
Leroy,
hard.
That's good.
Leroy, one shot a hole. It's not many.
You go and tell a professional golfer they've got to make up one shot a hole on someone.
Yeah, no, okay, yes, that's the point, Leroy. Is a professional golfer who's getting like 3s and 4s. That is hard to make one shot a hole. That's like 25% you've got to shave off, maybe 33% off.
You've got to stop
What
having
about
9s and
8s
10s.
Yeah.
I can get a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, but you've got to stop having 8s and 9s. And
It's
that's
On
the
the par
problem.
threes.
You guys...
All right, let's move on from this.
The thing is, the thing I'm sick of is good golfers telling me how to be a shit golfer. I know better than you how to be a shit golfer. I know how to count my shots, and
Yeah.
it's backwards.
You've started counting them forwards.
I only if it's like 5 or 6 shots, I'll count forwards. If it's more than 5 or 6, I've got to count backwards. I go, okay, I putted 6 times. Had that drop, then that one, and then finally get to the tee shot.
Yeah.
I know how to be a shit golfer, so let me have my.
Okay.
Okay, so no training,
what
no
about this?
coaching. No coaching scoop.
But if he improves and he embraces it, he's going to play more, and that's good.
Yeah.
What about
Why
this,
wouldn't I
though?
want him to
What
improve?
about we have a bet?
I don't want to be hoping like fuck that he has a
Okay.
10 somewhere.
What
Because
about
he
this?
will.
What about this? What about we have a bet where if I ever beat you, we get to go on, let's just say a Vegas trip, or maybe not something so expensive. Let's say a night out on the coast with all of us,
Yep.
and maybe like a bunch of stablemates, and you pay for it. So you get to have some fun. Like,
Fuck, a bunch of stablemates.
so you still get to, you're still hoping it happens because we get to have a good night out, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
What about that?
That's it. Yeah. All right, we'll sort it out.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
All right, let's go.
Something.
Now, good, we're on golf. Let's do the sports wrap then. We
yeah.
wrapped up the test series against Pakistan.
Say goodbye to Davey Warner.
3-0, yeah. And
How do you feel about that? Did you forgive him?
Well, they're saying his replacement is could be Bancroft coming
No,
up.
they've announced the replacement today.
Oh, did they?
So Steve Smith is going to open,
Oh, really?
and Cam Green's getting the nod,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
which I'm happy with. I want Cam Green.
Would
in
you be
that team.
happy if Bancroft got in?
I wouldn't be unhappy.
Because he was the one who actually pulled the sandpaper out of his
Oh yeah, I see what you're
pants.
saying.
You wouldn't want him in there, would
This-
you?
My thoughts are that the sandpaper thing,
Done or dusted?
yeah. They've done-
Pardon the pun.
I mean, if you talk to cricketers, a lot of cricketers say that kind of ball tampering stuff happens more than you know. Now, it shouldn't at that elite level. And the worst part of it, I reckon, was Dave Warner encouraging a young bloke to do it.
Yeah, but he's also come out recently and said, the truth will eventually come out.
Okay.
Who did say
Warner
that?
did.
Warner did, yeah, something about
That's a
that
good tactic.
as well. Yeah, so
To say
and
that.
him and Mitchell Johnson have been at it
Yeah, yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Here's another one for you then on that topic. Would you be happy with Steve Smith being captain ever again?
I've finally come back around liking the Test team again.
Yeah.
With Cummins as captain.
Yeah.
So I think if Steve Smith became captain again, I'd have that. It'd be a bit tainted for me.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm liking the Test team again.
Yep.
And I haven't for a few years.
I don't think they can reverse the decision. The decision's been made that he's never been captain.
Yeah.
He was never, when he captained, he made some shit decisions
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Like-
My opinion on Steve Smith is his part in Sandpaper Gate was it was his job to speak up and his job to stop it, and it showed you're not strong enough to be captain.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him being in the Test team, and I like him, and I think he's one of the best batters of all time.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with him never being captain again. I think Cummins is a far
Yeah, no, he's
superior
going
captain.
All right.
So Steve Smith opening, Cam Green in. I'm also very happy with Cam Green getting a Guernsey.
Yeah.
He's a amazing.
I got one
cricketer.
that you're not going to like. Jokic. Buzzer beater
Yeah, that was fucked. God, they're playing shit.
against Golden State. Yeah.
Yeah, They
What was
blew the more important thing is they
40
blew
metres,
yet
something.
another 18-point lead, yet another one, and he knocked it in from fucking
Over
nearly
halfway.
half court with a second to go to beat them.
Yeah.
And he's a centre.
Yeah.
And he's a centre.
What a shot, though. That was,
Yeah,
it was
get
great to
fucked.
see. Yeah, I know.
They're playing like shit. They were down 27 points yesterday against the Raptors at halftime.
Really?
They came back.
Is that
and-
Toronto?
yeah. Well
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Oh,
I remember that. I pulled that out of my 1996 brain and was like, or 94.
NBA brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, just quickly, another one on golf news. Did you see the really tragic golf news through the week?
No.
Paige Sporanic has been kicked off social media for showing too much cleavage.
True.
From who
Yeah.
kicked her off?
I think it was
The
Instagram.
platform.
The platform kicked her off for too much cleavage.
Is that a thing?
What?
tragedy.
How can you- That is tragic.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Is
I
there a
love,
rule
I
against
love
that?
her. I love her, and I love her golf ability. I love that she loves my favourite sport so much.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Not long now for...
We'll move on from that. will we?
yeah. We've all seen her videos and stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Minji Lee.
Not long
That's
till...
a funny video. Have you seen that video of Min Woo Lee's sister, who's also a professional golfer, and she misses? Her name's Minji Lee. Yeah, you can laugh at Minji, Ben. It's okay. She hits a putt and it goes around the lip of the hole, and the female commentator goes, "Oh, Minji, how many lips have you shaved today?"
Did she say holes, not lips?
Oh, yeah,
How many
she
holes
said,
have
"How
you
many holes have
shaved
you
There's so
shaved
many
today?"
innuendos.
Yeah.
in it. It's
Yeah,
just like-
crazy.
It was fucking gold.
Yeah. Not long for NRL to be in Vegas, I think in March.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that'll be cool.
I'd
Now,
love to go and see that.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Broncos, Roosters, and Rabbitohs,
If I
Manly.
beat you before that game happens, you'll
no,
pay
fuck
me to
off.
go to Vegas
Yeah.
and watch it. If
Um,
I beat you,
Can I give you, before footy season starts, can I give you a bit of advice?
Okay.
Unfollow your favourite sporting teams
Oh, so you
on
don't get the
social
updates.
media.
So you don't get the score updates,
Yeah, footy's not as bad because we're in the time zone and we generally watch the games live.
but like basketball or something.
But
yeah.
basketball's the worst because the NBA's on our time during the day and I'll watch it at night time when the kids go to bed.
The replay. Yeah.
But I'll open Instagram and just bang, scores there, fucking wrecks it.
Yeah.
Unfollow. Like, you don't get enough from your team on social media.
Uncle Jig's
to follow
advice.
them.
Sports
Unfollow
advice.
your teams. Do you hear that, stablemates? Unfollow your teams on social media.
Oh, for your sport, Sam Kerr.
Yeah.
I
Hear about her?
No,
Yeah,
what's the
injured.
news?
ACL.
Yeah,
Oh, gone.
ACL gone.
Ooh, brutal.
They're thinking 12 months, and I think the Olympic qualifier, because the Olympics are this year.
No, soccer in the Olympics.
But still,
What do you mean?
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
it's not
we'd
the
be a
pinnacle
medal
of the
chance
sport.
with her.
Have we
Yeah.
talked about that on the potty before?
I don't know. We've talked about it at length off air, which is if it's not
Yeah,
the
we
pinnacle
agree
of the
on
sport,
something.
Yeah, we agreed. If it's not the pinnacle of the sport,
Don't
then
have
get
it
it
in
out
the
of the
Olympics.
Olympics.
Golf's another one.
Okay.
If you
Is
said
golf
to
in the
any,
Olympics?
yeah, if you said to any golfer, gold medal or
US Open.
US Open or the Masters,
Yeah,
they
of
go
course.
Masters.
Yeah, there's more tradition
Or,
in there.
yeah, or-
yeah.
I think just make
British Open.
make rooms for the sports where it's the pinnacle, like the curling.
The basketball's
archery.
another one. Did you see that
Athletics and-
the US team? They're talking about like stacking it now. LeBron,
yeah.
Durant,
Yeah.
all those guys because they failed at the World Cup.
Yeah.
and they're just like, we need to
Chiseled.
prove that we
Yeah.
are the shit because they sent nobody to the
Now,
World Cup.
Why would
with-
they do that?
Because they don't usually need to win. And all these players are earning fucking $40 million a year. They can't be fucked going and playing in the World
Imagine
Cup.
that. Can't be fucked.
Yeah, yeah. In your in
Oh,
your
you know what?
sport.
I was sorry.
Also,
No, you're
one
right.
more
No.
quick thing on that. The reason is the World Cup and an Olympic gold medal, not the pinnacle. The pinnacle is winning an NBA championship
there
in
you
that
go.
sport.
So
Yeah.
don't
Anyway.
even bother. I don't know why they got a World Cup for the bloody.
Yeah.
Same with rugby league.
was to
World
include
Cup, come
other
Yeah,
countries.
and
grow the
basketball's
sport.
good for Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh had a little friend over. Was it yesterday, or the day before? And because we've been cleaning up, as I said, like decluttering
Yeah.
the stuff.
Excellent.
You cleaned up the studio. It looks fantastic.
bit,
You and
yeah.
Ben.
Are you okay?
A little bit.
What-
Yeah.
you're-
Well, it's just got to the point. This is like I'm a disgrace.
Finally, he's figured it out.
He is a disgrace. When are you going
anyway.
to clean up your fucking hair and
Face,
shit?
yeah.
I don't know. I was actually talking about that. We go on a separate tangent on that if you want. I was asking Matt today because he asked me, "Am I going to cut my hair?" And I was wondering, is there a point where my hair will just stay at this length and I don't have to? It's not going to get down to my feet. What happens?
Well, Bill,
Does it just fall out? Like different strands individually can only last so long, so they fall out. How does hair not get down to your feet?
Depends on your genetics, I guess. So
Very rarely you see someone with hair to their feet. So
Well,
what,
women, you see hair down to their ass.
like women,
Yeah.
yeah, occasionally, but not commonly. But I don't think it just keeps growing. It's not going to grow.
it will.
from here to the end of the
It
thing.
keeps growing when you die.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Well, how does it?
Your fingernails and your hair keep growing when you die. When you're dead.
Hairdressers.
Really?
Except if you
I
get
don't think it
cremated.
does.
Yeah, it's not going to grow.
we'll get
My
a-
toes will
we'll get a
touch the ground when I
statement to
Like, will they
give-
finally relax?
what I'm proposing happens because I swear I don't think it just goes forever. I think it stops at a point. Maybe like each individual hair can only grow so long,
No.
or it's just gonna get pulled out by just whatever, like
Life.
touching life, yeah,
By-
and then it just starts again. They can't grow forever.
By Matt pulling your ponytail.
Yeah, exactly.
When
what I'm,
you're playing golf.
Yeah.
When you're paying up on one of them bets.
Anyway, reverse that tangent. Go back into the other tangent we were in, which was Josh had his little friend over.
Yeah.
And we've been decluttering. That's right.
Yes.
And I had the old Guinness World Record poster out, like certificate out.
Yeah, who's
Who was in that again? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Yeah. So
Guinness World Record holders?
yeah, Guinness World
Yes.
Record holders, former Guinness
Don't say
World Record.
former.
Yeah. Okay.
There was 4 of you, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knee jigs,
We-
Fubbo, and Twiglado.
Yeah.
We got business cards made up. They didn't give these to us. We got them custom made up with the logo on it, with our names and our mobile numbers, and it says,
Guinness World
"To be
Record
the best, you've got to know the best."
Oh.
We're just giving them out to
Yeah.
people.
Brilliant.
Anyway, so we had that was just sitting kind of in our office, like leaning against the window, and I saw Josh's friend and his dad just walking out of our house, and I saw him like double take at this.
The dad or the
specific-
kid?
The dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, he's
Got
looked
him.
at that.
Got
Got
him.
him.
Yeah.
Did he call you?
Got it.
Did he
Yeah,
call you a
Double take that.
tryhard?
And I looked at it, and then I looked at Josh, and I was like,
Tell him.
did you see that?
Did he-
He's seen it? And then
Did you
and
pull him
'cause we
back?
had-
Oh, would you like me to tell you the
No,
story
I
on
didn't, I
that?
didn't do an autograph. I can't have time for that. But,
I'm
we
surprised.
had friends over at the time, Georgie and Mark from around the corner, and so then I said, Josh, they don't want to hear about that. And then so we got that out, and they were all like pretty impressed. And I got the business cards out, and they said, they give you these. I'm like, oh no, we
We made them up.
And then Mark had a great idea. I think it was Mark, or it could have been Georgie. Said, she get the tattoo. We should all of us,
Oh yeah,
get the Guinness World Record tattoo.
yeah. I've
Just
been thinking about
on
getting a
our
tattoo
ass.
because Tash is getting
Yeah.
a new tattoo on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh,
I
shit.
want one,
Yeah.
and I want to.
Let's get the
she's
Guinness
getting
World Record
a
tattoo.
triple clef on her wrist, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, we should get the Guinness World Record tattoo. The other thing I thought of doing is, how Olympians, they get the Olympic rings on it.
Oh, yeah.
Tattoo. I reckon I'll get Olympic rings just on my forearm or something, and just let everyone assume.
No, did you know that's actually a thing that Olympians talk about it being fucked if you get that
Ooh.
tattoo and you haven't actually
Wow.
got that?
And what
Because
happens?
Hamish Blake got one.
Oh, did he? Why?
Yeah.
Just for
Did
fun.
he?
Yeah,
He
because
came up with this idea as well, did
well,
he?
he's got a tattoo on his arm, which is just made up of the world's shittest tattoos. Like Pink did one on his arm,
right.
something on a skateboard with a cigarette or something.
Yeah.
But they did a challenge where they played like 50 sports in 50 hours or something like that, and they were fucked. And he got the Olympic rings tattooed on him to celebrate
shit.
it.
Wow.
And an Olympian said, "No,
Don't.
yeah, you don't do that."
Okay. Yeah.
I actually want to do it more.
Yeah. Speaking of Olympics, I guess this is the controversial one I wanted to touch on, and feel free to bring in your ideas on this. But I read this the other day. The International Cricket Council has become the latest sports body to ban transgender players from the elite women's game if they've gone through male puberty.
Right. So what's the situation? So it's a women's game.
Women's game.
So women's cricket.
Yep.
If you were, I was actually thinking about this. You know how you were walking down to Toowong Village today, and I text you saying I can see your big stupid head. I was walking behind you. For some reason, I was thinking about this exact thing.
Did he look like a woman?
I don't know why, but I was thinking, what are the rules on that? So transgender sport, is it if you were born a man, you can never play women's sport, or is it if you've taken certain drug, like certain
There's
hormone
a bit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's hormone replacement and gender reassignment. Surgery has to have taken place and all
I'm
this
gonna
kind of things.
I'll just say it. you can, if you're born a man, you can't play women's sport.
I-
It has to be another category.
I agree.
Unless it's like a non-strength, like dart. Well, I think they should. Here's what they should do. They should combine some sports. I know darts might already be combined. Something like
is,
darts
yeah.
should just be just
Like a non-contact?
unisex.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that's like not
Strength based.
strength-based, or obviously a male has an advantage. Just make it all unisex.
Yeah.
And then I think if it's swimming, you got to have a separate category for.
Transgender people.
You cannot
Yeah.
have someone who's born a man.
Yeah.
Competing
Swimming.
against women.
I saw one report where this female, she trained since she was 4 or 5, and she was up at
So born female.
born female. Yeah, and she was like, she was against a transgender swimmer coming in, and when she was a he was like in the college system or something like 500th in their system. Then he
Switched.
transitioned to a woman, and he was like number 1.
Yeah. Is there
And
anyone
she-
who's saying that should be allowed, or is it?
Well, they allowed it for some reasons, and this lady was said, I got up at 3 o'clock every day for
Yeah.
20 years to be, and this person comes in,
Yeah.
transitions and beats me
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you know. And could you imagine, say Mike Tyson at 25
Yeah.
transitioning
Yeah.
at
Michaela Tyson.
I'm trying to picture it.
I love watching Mike Tyson. Like I've somehow Facebook knows I'm interested in that now. Mike
he was
Tyson
a
clips.
beast.
His old
He's
fights.
amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
But he just
Yeah.
he'd kill him, you know.
No.
Yeah.
So
that's-
I'm interested to know: has anyone got a solution other than you cannot?
I'd like to hear someone
Combined
make a
category?
case for why it's not going to fuck the sport. Like if it's swimming, you're fucking every world record with swimming.
Yeah. What about Sean Tate in cricket? 150, 160 k's an hour.
Yeah.
what about him?
Transitions at 25 or
Go
so.
bowl at the women.
Bowling
No,
at women.
no.
Yeah, no.
But,
it's-
but
no, they'd be-
cricket have banned
they'd
it,
be
so they're
dead.
saying it's not happening.
I'd be happy for him/her to play in the men's game still. So if Sean Tate decides to be Shauna Tate, then
Yeah.
he can still play in the in the men's comp.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
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 Like that's if we're assuming that.
It's
yeah,
all
no,
strength
he's born a
based,
man.
yeah.
He can play in the men's.
I just think
sport.
that the way the world is at the moment, I think we're going to see a lot more of it.
There's
and
a
I
lot
think
of-
they're going to have to put some.
I think what complicates it more
Strong
is
rules
the
in
born a
place.
man thing, because that's part of it now, is people not wanting gender assigned at birth. That's a huge part of this whole thing now, is people saying, well, I don't know what my gender is, and
Well, there's a biological sex. Sex and gender, I know they're different. I don't know which one's which, but
yeah, we're walking down a pretty...
No, well-
you haven't said controversy because it's straightforward.
there is like in I think almost all of the situations there's a biological answer to what someone was born.
Yeah,
Like, but
Yeah.
not.
they just don't want a label on it.
Well, then there's the whole issue of should you combine men's and women's sport?
Well, they did
Yeah,
that with
they-
the golf and it didn't go well.
And tennis, they've done that with mixed doubles. They have done that.
Like,
Oh, yeah, I mean, mixed doubles is good.
could you
I
combine
really like
it?
mixed doubles.
Because
You can't combine all
I
sports.
think there is an acceptance for that. Obviously, there's a physical difference between men and women. That men have an advantage in particular sports.
Yeah.
But could you go if you did? Because then there's all the gender pay, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Would it all go away if you said, okay, we're combining? There's just one category of sport, like so, women's soccer players, men's soccer players. You can play in the same team if you're good enough.
But we're
fair
picking the
enough.
best.
But there's divisional system. So
Yeah.
let's just say there's Division 1, which is Socceroos, that could have men or women in it. Probably because of the physical differences, there's probably going to be more men in there. But there could be women who are
Yep.
strong enough to
Yep.
be in that top team,
Yep.
and they get the opportunity to be in the Division 1 team. Then there's a Division 2 team, and that could be men or women. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm making
it's
this up
a
as I
hard
go.
one. No,
so-
I know. Have you got
Yeah,
a thought on it, Ben?
Well, I think that seems fair. Like if you're a woman and you've got the strength and the skill to make it to Division 1,
Yeah,
then all for it.
if you're a rugby league player, a female rugby league player, and you can prove I'm more valuable on this team for the men's Brisbane Broncos team than a man.
They get hammered. I couldn't see a
But
female
imagine if somebody could prove that, then why not? It happened in the golf. There was a female golfer who said, "I want to play with the men,"
Yeah.
and they
I've seen it
said,
in
"Well,
golf.
yes, but
I
you got to
thought you
tee
were
off
going
the
to come
men's
up with your
tees."
usual solution of 2 balls, but that's a transgender thing anyway. Isn't it? So it's got.
That's not helping.
Oh, dear. Yeah, no, I think it's clear cut for the especially for your example of the cricket. It's got to be clear cut.
I think they've even banned it in chess.
No, that
that's
should be
dumb.
the same.
No,
I agree
It
with
should
that.
be unisex.
I agree with
think they
darts
have,
as well.
yeah.
Why would darts be?
Anything where it's not significant advantage should just be unisex.
Or-
And it gets
yeah.
rid of most of the situations.
Yeah.
10-pin bowling.
10-pin bowling, unisex.
Yep, pool.
Definitely.
Not
Pool,
going to go
unisex.
down that alleyway. Yes.
So boxing
Okay.
and all that sort
Yeah,
of stuff,
don't
that's got to
mention-
be
course,
be
yeah.
male versus male, female
Yeah.
versus female.
Can
Unless
you,
unless they wanted to, like unless there was.
Oh, that'd be awful to watch.
Well, if she was
It's
strong and good enough.
what
then-
would be awful to watch?
Oh, a male versus female in. It's like.
In what?
in boxing?
Yeah.
No.
No, but
No.
if they wanted to and they were good enough
If
to
they
do
were
it,
good enough, yeah, okay, but no.
I couldn't handle watching
No.
it. It's, nah,
but
I wouldn't.
she could win.
Well, maybe, but it's still wrong. It's like.
I'd love to see a female like kickboxer kick the shit out of Scoot.
I'm not saying I would win that. All right? Obviously, I would get the shit kicked out of me. All right.
Also, don't mention 10-pin bowling again.
Oh no, I know. I was
You're
just-
gonna you're gonna send more.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the what the fuck story. So we've come to the conclusion. Once again, 2 balls in the sport. So
Yeah,
using 2
yeah,
balls.
yeah.
Okay.
2 balls for God. What if they only have 1 ball? No, we'll move on.
Speaking of which, my what the fuck story has to do with you, Jiggles, Sir Jiggles. My
Can I
what
get
the
a beer
fuck
while
story.
you-
Yeah.
Can you
But
can you get me a little gulp?
you'll I don't know if you know this story,
Who?
Ben and Scoot.
What have I done?
Well,
It's not that text I sent you the other night, is it?
Oh no,
That cannot go on the
I
podcast.
I couldn't try it because the anyway. Now, I'm okay, thanks, mate. Now you have been to Vegas with your lovely wife,
Yes.
and Twice.
With my wife.
Yes.
Once with you.
Yes.
Where is this headed? Oh, is this going to... I know what this is, you motherfucker.
Now, Jiggles has told me in one of his trips to Vegas with his wife,
Thank you. I know what this is.
he went to a male strip show.
I think I might have. Do I know about this?
So I was like, what
You're
the
going to
fuck?
give me a right to reply?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think you should explain it, but you went to a male strip show
How far did he strip
and
down?
you said,
I think jocks.
We've all. You've seen me
What?
with jobs.
I
yeah, but
made
not
the,
oiled up and dancing in front of me with your wang out.
I didn't see his wang. We didn't see Wang.
But you said it was better than the female strip show.
So I did, and I stand by that.
Okay, let's hear that.
I reckon Scoop will agree with me here.
Oh, shit.
From
no.
someone who's
Been questioning it lately. So we went to the Hustler Club, which is a really famous strip club. Is that the Larry Flint one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lazy F.
3 levels, fucking huge.
LCF.
It's not on the strip. You got to get a fucking cab there. We went to the Hustler Club. Fucking expensive to get in. We got to the front door and we found out it was going to cost like damn near fucking $200 to get in or
Swearing
something.
a lot tonight.
Anyway,
Explicit content.
fuck, he throws me. So we went in, level 1 and level 2 female strippers. We got a drink. We sat. And it was just like any strip club.
Sounds
Like we were
pretty
just
innocuous.
we were
Yeah.
just in a strip club.
Sounds like
It was
a
just a
standard
strip
night at a
club.
strip club.
And then we went up to level 3, which was male strippers.
Yeah.
So my wife was like, "Oh yeah, we'll go up and have a look." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll have a
She
look."
did.
We ended up. Now here's the thing: we ended up staying on level 3 for the majority of the night, and the reason it was good was because there were several hens parties on this level, and they were loose as fuck. They were getting up on stage with the male strippers, and these male strippers were giving them a good working over. Like I'm talking regular punters on stage having their dresses lifted up and like being fondled and stuff. And I
Can't do
maintain,
that.
Oh, yeah.
whatever. I maintain That was better to see than just downstairs. The regular old girl comes out in
Yeah.
lingerie, slowly
Alright.
strips down to something else.
Yeah, you've thrown the hen
I
party
bought my
in
wife
there.
a lap dance.
But you bought yourself one too, didn't you?
I definitely did not. you are just
A shithead. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, I stand by it.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the hens night thrown in, I think that
It was all about that. Like they were wild. Downstairs was not wild. They were just dudes sitting there watching these girls. But
they're not a fun
they
place to be,
were
strip clubs.
they were pushing the boundaries. These girls, and they were just
Yeah.
It was loose.
Oh, all right. Oh, have you got a what the fuck story?
I don't, but we talked about changing this segment to.
Oh, yeah.
Tash and I are going to
Did
come
anyone else
across.
have a what the fuck
I
while
got
we're on
an
it?
FFS for fuck's
Oh,
sake.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked
You've
about
got a-
making this segment "What the fuck" or "For fuck's sake."
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a for fuck's sake.
I've got it for fuck's sake, but I think Scoot should go first. Otherwise, Tash and I are in danger of coming across as sexual deviants.
You're still going to say it, but
I am,
after
but
I
just
say mine.
just put some space in between. Put some G-rated content in between.
By the way, have you seen what I'm drinking? Crown
Yes.
Lager?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a king right now.
You look like one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Things,
Drinking a Crown Lager.
things are going very well in your world. Then.
Yeah, that must be nice.
Yep, Ben, pay rise. We'll ask for a pay
Upgraded to the
rise
Crown.
tomorrow.
This used to be, remember that? Like, actually, we used to give this to staff
Yeah.
as a Christmas present.
It used to be the
You go to a box at the cricket box, and you get Crown Lager. It's like, wow.
It was the
Yeah.
be all and end all of beers. Or
Yeah.
something.
Speaking
It's
of
actually
cricket
quite good.
box,
Yeah.
Yeah.
did we talk about
Drinking out of, doing boxies.
yeah the
Boxes.
boxies? That's fucked.
Oh, boxies.
I saw one do.
Have you
guy
seen it,
do
Ben?
I have, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so fucked.
From a shoey to a boxy. Yeah.
Even I was disgusted with a shoey. Like
Is
I
it
would
your own
never
box?
do a shoey. They were pulling it out of there. Yeah, it's
Their
your
own
own box, but they've been wearing it all day,
Yeah.
sweaty as fuck,
Yeah.
and just doing a
Yeah.
beer out of it.
Boxy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
great.
so Australian. isn't it?
Who has decided that's a good idea?
For our American listeners, and
Cricket box is your cod protector, your
Yeah.
dick protector, yeah.
they're pouring beer
That's what I call
Beer
it.
into it, down
then
it,
down
and into their mouth.
into your mouth. Yeah. So ball sweat,
Right
everything.
into their face hole.
That's what I call
Yeah.
it to the kids when they're cricket games. They're like, have you got your dick protector in?
That's what you say. Okay, Paul Walker.
Anyway, for fuck's
Okay,
sake,
my for
Scoot.
fuck's sake. I don't know if it fits in this category, but I fucking put it there anyway.
Yeah.
This is another one, Jiggles related.
Isn't
You
the
know the story?
Am I going to come
Ben-
off like a
line
sexual
of fire?
Maybe.
Tash is not going to be happy
It might
with
not
this
be.
episode.
There could be a sexual angle, like undertone to it. Actually, I
Right.
never thought of it as a sexual story, but
Let's not forget you started this episode by saying I got Shagger's back,
you did, yeah.
and then I shouted out to my wife. Oh, I'm
not sure
sorry,
if you've heard
Tash.
this one, Benjo Patterson, but you may or may not have. But we used to play this. Was it AFL or cricket? I think it was the cricket comp out at
2020.
out at Fair. It doesn't matter where it was. It's not, but it was somewhere in Brisbane. We used to play the
That was
2020
the guy who
cricket
ran
in the 20s.
it that said,
Yeronga, that's where it was.
You're
You're going to
right.
tell
Yeah.
with a K?
No.
Have we already told that?
Yeah, we have told
We had
that.
told
yeah.
that one. Yeah, it was that thing. And then we had the end of season drinks
Yeah.
for the.
What this story? Do you remember a few episodes ago we had the "What's your most embarrassing moment?"
This is it?
thing? I was in the shower one day and I thought to myself, "Fuck, this is my most embarrassing."
Right, okay.
moment.
Yeah,
This is
this is
actually
cool.
my
This is
most
great.
embarrassing
All right.
moment.
So there's this guy.
Because I played a few games.
This is what the fuck
Was
too.
it cricket or was it AFL?
It was the end of cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this isn't cricket. So there was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams in the thing. And we noticed during one of the games that one of the opposition players in one of the other teams looked a little bit like a guy we knew.
No, not a little bit.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Looked a
exactly
fuckload.
Like the bloody doppelganger.
Looked a fuckload like a mate of mine.
Yeah, named Stoney.
And now this guy also had very pronounced, like the main feature of Stoney is his nose is a bit fucked up. Shout out
Right.
to Stoney.
Shout out to Stoney.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, this other guy's Jigs is like, oh, he looks like Stoney. Yeah, like, oh,
He
yeah,
looked
I can
exactly
see that.
like
Can kind
Stoney.
of see it, maybe. So, the season continues and Jigs is kind of fixated on this guy. Fucking Stoney. He looks like Stoney. And then the end of season presentation night comes up.
Also, this was before phones and social media and shit were a thing.
Yeah. So, Jiggles
Oh, this is so fucked. I don't want to.
Jiggles has thought, fuck, this guy, he needs to know how much he looks like my mate Stoney.
Oh,
And
right.
just to put it in context, we don't know this guy. We don't
At
know
all.
his name. We just seen him on the other team.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of know of him.
No interaction.
He may or may not recognise us.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, I think we played against you. It would be that sort of situation.
Yeah.
So Jiggles is like, okay, he needs to know how much he looks like this mate of mine, Stoney.
Yeah.
So he's gone.
You didn't even stop me though.
He spent the week. He's
not
taken
the week.
Probably taken the week off work. I don't know, to prepare.
That's two stories in a row being amplified.
Like, you know when you're in like kindy and you have to do a project and you get the big like cardboard roll, like the blue roll of cardboard, and you go into the magazine and you find photos that you like in the magazine, the new idea, and you
Doing
cut
a
them out and you
lecturette.
paste them on with your clad glue to like a big collage. So what he's done, he's gone somehow and found, again, this is before like social media was big, he's got cut out all these photos that he's got of this guy Stone.
You haven't, have you?
He's printed them on his inkjet printer. He's cut them out with his scissors. He's got his clad glue. It's a big, like A1. It's a big size, like A1 poster of blue cardboard. Cut out about 25 photos of Stoney.
What were you, 8 years old?
He's printed them out on his printer, cut them out, and he's rolled it up, and he's come along to the
Presentation night.
Prezzo night with this thing.
With his
kind of-
lecturette.
Right. Yeah. And he's told us, he said, look what I've done. I'm going to show it to him and show him how much he looks like Stoney.
Fuck off, you
And we've
did.
just gone, oh yeah, he'll like that.
So, what happens? You get to the party.
So we're at the Prezzo night, and I guess he had a few courage drinks, you know.
All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go up to him.
And we were like, oh yeah, go do it, off you go.
As if you'd stop him. Yeah.
And he's gone up, and he's gone, oh g'day, I'm Chris. I'm not sure if you remember we played against you once or twice this season, but I've got this mate, Stoney. And he looks quite a lot like you. And he's like, oh yeah, like he's already like getting those who's this weirdo eyes about him.
Stalker.
And then he brought out the collage and put it down in front of him.
That's fucking hilarious.
He reacted as you could expect. It was just like,
Fuck
and I reckon it would have been the most awkward, however, 10, 20 seconds of your life.
Did you
try-
roll it back up and then walk away?
Trying to just...
I think I gave it to him. I think I left it with him.
That's brilliant.
Oh, he shut you down so hard just with the look in
He
his
had
eyes.
no interest in it. He was absolutely bewildered. And what he said after I walked off, I would love to know.
You've got a for fuck's sake you want to talk about?
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
I almost brought this
Good
up
memory,
in
Scott.
our
That
What
was
Have You
great.
Been Up To? Because this is something that happened. Like, Tash and I are going to come across as just sex-crazed deviants in this episode.
That's right.
We had a little incident,
Okay.
a bedroom incident. We had an incident.
Are we on there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just
Yeah.
checking my messages.
Yeah.
Well, he's scrolling, he's not rolling, but we are. Yeah.
We had an incident in the master bedroom of our house during the holidays. I think we were packing to go away.
Right.
We were clothed, and it was the middle of the day.
Oh, okay.
But all of a sudden, we could smell a fire. Like, we could smell burning.
Jesus
Right.
Christ, it's a fire.
And I said to Tash, what is that? Like, where's that coming from? Like, I said, can you smell smoke? And she's like, yeah, I can smell an actual fire. What the fuck's happening?
Yeah.
So I went up to the window, put my nose up to the window. I was like, it's not outside. She went
Yeah.
into the ensuite, the window in there. It's not on the other side of the house. And we're like, that's genuinely a fire in our house. I went over to my bedside table and I put my head behind it. And I'm like, that's coming from that power board behind the... I don't know what that is. But it's coming from that power board behind my bedside
Is it a
table.
battery charge or something?
So I pulled out, like, it's one of those power boards that's got USB ports as well as pulled everything out of it. And I went, fuck, that's the power board. Like, that's just nearly set the house on fire.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't use that. I'll have to replace that. And fucking anyway, it's unplugged now. We should be all right. But then I realised what the actual fire was. It was an actual fire, like smoke. And what's happened is we've got 2 chargers plugged into that power board for vibrating devices. And they're those ones with the, the magnetic ones that clip on. It's got 2 dots and they magnet on to charge your device. Yeah, sure. We had 2 of those chargers and they magneted to each other, plugged in and started to melt and created a fire.
That's actually like a really... Well, hadn't they thought of that could happen?
So we're all about educating the stablemates. Don't leave those magnetic chargers for your vibrators plugged in.
I thought you had petrol start ones.
Diesel only. Diesel soot gets the
Sort of array of...
That's in the fishbowl section.
I've read on the bumper stickers, apparently it does.
Diesel soot.
Does the diesel soot actually get the wood?
You must have quite an array of devices.
But yeah.
If your device chargers are interacting with each other.
Well, it was only 2, but yeah, we just left them plugged in and just chipped and melted and fire.
You should send them an email.
Who?
I don't know, the people who make those products.
That is a stablemate question this week. It's funny that you said that.
What?
No, we'll come back.
Can your vibrator just charges?
No, not that.
Connect together and start a fire?
Anyway, that's my for fuck's sake. No, what you said about send an email. It's
Years ago, I was working as a sales rep, and
what's this going to
be? Gillette, and Gillette owned
the best a man can get.
Duracell batteries and another one that was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was an alkaline. And back then the sex toys couldn't take alkaline batteries, and we used to deliver to Naughty But Nice. And I used to be the rep go in, and one day I was carrying, they were short some batteries at Underwood, I think it was, Naughty But Nice, and I was walking with some batteries, and they had this is years ago, and they had the toys out on the floor because they hadn't opened yet, and they were tagging the prices on them. Yeah. And I stood on a rubber vagina and broke the.
Did you break into song?
No, I broke the seal.
Did you break into song? Oh, rubber vagina, you are an awesome sight.
And the manager and the girls working there, I said, "Oh shit, sorry." I said, "Let me know how much it is, and I'll pay for it." Because
then take it off. And it's not that damaged, so I'll keep it.
I had the plug on the back and everything.
This is an elaborate story for how you got that rubber vagina.
It was like, I can't remember, it was $50 or $60. I'm like, fuck, that's
back then.
But yeah. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. It costs us like 10 cents from China or something. Yeah. So the markup on those,
insane.
And now it's all online.
Yeah.
But yeah, they used to go through. We transported. They had might have been Sexpo or something. Transported a whole crate of batteries to their shop, and the transport company lost it. So we had to get it flown in. Everything. Yeah, so anyway, that's another story. But yeah,
when Scoot and I were 18, we were going through the cycle of 18th birthday parties, and we had a mate that we wanted to get a blow-up doll for. We just thought it'd be a funny gag gift.
Have we told this one?
No, and so we went to an adult shop with another guy we knew at the time. And we were a bit nervous, like walking in an adult shop, bit fish out of
weird,
water.
Yeah.
And we walked through the front door, and this other guy we're with just goes, "Blow-up dolls are over here." Okay, champion.
Yeah. And don't let it catch fire.
Did you want to tell that one of when you were getting the lift home from the airport?
I think I've already mentioned that on the potty, maybe.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I went... my mum picked me and Tash up at the airport and chucked all the bags in the boot, home from the airport, pulled up in the driveway and could just hear a noise. And I'm like, what is that? She's like, what's that noise? I'm like, I don't know. I knew good and well what it was. It was in there. It was in the bag in the boot. Honestly... I'm so sorry, Tash. I did ask her for permission to bring that up on the potty, but I didn't know that all the other stuff was going to get a run.
I think she's probably more concerned about that Stony situation that you would do that. Like
Full blown.
I think she knew I was doing it. I think she just trusted I knew what I was doing.
yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, that's
Moving on.
fantastic. Yeah. Go back to the petrol powered ones, mate. You'll be fine. Now we've got a Better Than Branson.
Yeah, this one started as a stablemate Better Than Branson.
Did you want to do your intro?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
do
your
Better Than
intro.
Branson. Yeah.
Oh, that's classic.
How do you open this thing? It's not even in here.
Just do it with your mouth.
Better Than Branson business ideas.
Yes. Okay.
You are the most unprofessional fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, it's normally
They
okay.
love it. They love this.
Yes.
They love
Lusty
the-
look.
Lusty looks. Okay.
Well,
How
should
did
we-
that come
should
up
we-
again?
okay.
We're talking about someone looking at girls.
So we were at golf.
Is this
And-
a stablemate Better Than Branson? Was this
Yeah,
something?
so it was from a stablemate Jason.
Oh.
Shout out to stablemate
G'day,
Jason.
Jason.
But he came up with an idea for it, but Scoot reckons he's improved it.
Okay.
Well, how do we? It was like
We were talking about,
you can't really look at.
you can't just stare at people like
Yeah,
you
and
treat
we were
them like
like,
a
well,
sex
if
object.
I would love just once in my life
to be,
for
I'd
a
love for
female
women to look
be-
at me.
to catch a female looking at me with lusty
Yeah.
intentions.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's ever happened.
Yeah,
Where I-
basically we were
I don't think
saying
so.
we would love, like women do not like being treated like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
We were saying, fuck, I'd love to women to treat me
Just
like
once,
a
I
piece of
wanna-
meat. I'd love to walk through a nightclub and just have 10 women just staring at my todger. like just looking at me.
Just walk into a
like,
room, they all stop and go.
just looking at me like I'm dying to be on him. And so that's where it started. And then he came up with a business idea, but I'll let you go.
Well, what was his idea? Is you could.
You can sign up. I don't actually know what Jason's idea was.
Oh, do you get
I
the-
think
Women actually do it for your mates. Is that what
I can't remember what his version of what I was.
he
thinking-
wanted to call it meaty treats.
Yeah, I've gone with lusty looks,
Okay.
and
yeah.
you can sign up, and there's also members of the opposite sex who are kind of like contracted to this service, and they'll look at me that way. So
as well, right?
So basically, I sign up, give my details, maybe a headshot of what I look like, but there's all these kind of women out there who are like contractors of this service,
Like sleeper
who'll know-
agents.
Hey,
Sleeper agents.
yeah, sleeper agents.
Yeah.
And then when they
Right.
see me at Coles or whatever, they're like, "Fuck, there's that guy. I gotta look at him like this." And then they kind of like stop what they're doing. They turn their head at me when I'm just trying to get the groceries, and I don't have time for people to be perving on me. But it's great that it happened.
Oh, so you're not.
Or you could sign a mate up.
You're,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
sort
was
of made up
thinking.
in secret.
that's what that was what I wanted to do with it. Was
Yeah,
like
that would
my-
make more sense.
for my mate's birthday. I'm going to secretly sign him up for this. So you're walking through a nightclub. Suddenly, 15 women are looking at you,
Yeah.
and you feel good.
Yeah.
And
I'm used to
I
that.
bought that
so
for you.
that's all right.
Yeah.
No, that's
Anyway, lusty looks.
Yeah, oh, I think
Was there another
if you could do it for yourself if you want to make your wife jealous or something,
Yeah.
that might work.
That's a good idea.
Maybe still powered off GPS, so they get a notification. Scott's in Coles.
True
Get
GPS.
get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hike up your skirts.
yeah. Meaty treat.
Boy.
Meaty treat 100 meters away.
Meaty treat.
I
That
have
is a
quick one.
brilliant name.
I think
Meaty
it's,
treat.
it's already been done, but having a QR code on your gravestone.
Yeah.
So, like, you could, you want your
It was contained within the cheeks.
yeah, but you could have like a QR code put on your gravestone for that part of the potty. So people going through the grave, the
That's
cemetery,
actually a good idea.
so they could go to your gravestone.
That's a fucking great idea.
Or it could even be go to their gravestone. You get a snippet of who this was, what they
That's
what
a
they did. in life.
fantastic idea.
Like a YouTube
Yep.
video of them or a.
I think we're going to cut this out because people hear it and do it. We've got to do that. QR. Okay.
There's a mosquito behind you.
QR.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit me. I was like,
I think I missed it.
Yeah, we've got to think of a name. Like,
yeah, so that you can, if you're walking through the cemetery or something, you can just go up to each. and
yeah,
go,
maybe
"Oh,
has
this
a bit of a
is-"
sound thing about them, a bit of a maybe
Can you
the
not-
podcast highlights if they're a podcaster.
explaining this contain with between the cheeks,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Listen to the podcast that
Can
Scott
you
was
not
on.
use this episode for my gravestone?
What?
For my gravestone, can you not use this episode? Because I haven't come across well.
We just have a picture of
I
your
actually
toes.
think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it'd
good.
be good, like videos, and people
QR
can
codes
see
on
you with your
gra-
kids or
gravestones.
something,
Yeah.
and like a slideshow.
You're filthy that this is being aired. You're
Yeah,
genuinely.
I think we've got to cut it.
cut it if you
and
want.
stop
So-
everything and work on this.
Yeah.
I think we do.
All right. So,
Yeah.
did you have one, Ben? You didn't know? No. All right. Well, let's get on to the stablemate
Stablemate
questions.
questions.
Thanks again to all the stablemates sending their gear
some
in.
good
We
ones
love
this
when you
week.
get in
I think we
touch
could
with us.
actually do
And if you've got any questions, like we said, any health tips we can give you, mental health tips, all that sort of stuff. If you've got a growth somewhere on your body, you can send a photo of that, and we'll diagnose it for you and give you our best advice we can.
I hope they don't do that.
No, I know.
I'd be interested. I'd have
Yeah.
a look.
Above the waist only.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
All right, we ready
All
for
right,
the first
let's
one?
go. Stablemate questions? Yeah.
Okay, this one's from stablemate Andy.
Andy.
And this is what I said before, of you touched on it.
Okay.
When did you have a fire off an email moment to a company? So you've dealt with a company and you're like, I'm fucking going to send them an email. You just said it before that
yeah,
I
I'll
should have
send an email,
emailed.
yeah.
Can't remember who you've.
I've done
talking
it
about.
to a couple of teachers, like some like children's teachers.
Oh, like a
occasionally.
fired up email, you mean? Like
No,
a clunky-
I've just anything. Like a good example is, was it you or your dad who sent an email off to Smith's Chips or?
Yeah, no, I went for a phase. This is like late teenagehood, I think, where I would, because you know how on the back of the chip packet or whatever it says, if you're not satisfied,
Yeah.
do let us know on this free call number or whatever.
Yeah.
So I started actually doing it. I was just like, this packet of chips was stale, and they would send stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I
That's
got
cool.
some Smith's chips. We did it with Subway. Remember I got that Subway sub, and one of the meatballs was like a rock, and it nearly broke my teeth.
Chip your teeth.
And then I took it out and I sticky taped it to a letter, and then I like drew an arrow to it, and I said this was in my sub, something, and sent that to him. And I don't know what happened with that. Can't remember. if I got
Yeah,
something.
okay.
Your dad contact one of the beer manufacturers too because they were 330 mil or something.
Yeah, no, my dad had a big. He's still on this train, but it's becoming harder and harder for him to exist. But when beers started getting downgraded from 375 mil to
75.
330, did not cope with that change well.
I didn't.
Basically boycotted them, would write them letters, all that sort of stuff. But now it's pretty hard to find a beer that is.
Yeah.
Can't like it. That's still 375, and it has to be full strength as well. He doesn't like it if they down the alcohol
Oh, okay.
content. So
And,
he wants full
yeah.
strength 375 mil. The other one my dad did. How does it work? Because my mum would make spaghetti bolognese, and
I remember this one.
she doesn't claim to be the world's best cook. Like I liked her food when I was growing up, but I didn't know any different. It was fine.
Yeah,
It
and
was
your
fine.
dad was Yucky Sundays.
Yeah,
When
my
it-
dad did
yeah.
Sunday yakkies. Yeah,
Sunday.
But
yeah, sorry.
so she'd try her best to cook dinner for us, but
She hasn't come
apparently
across well there. She tried her best to cook dinner for us.
Sorry, Mum.
no, she did good. I like mom's cooking, but my dad would. Her spaghetti bolognese, the sauce was quite watery.
Right.
Like, it just a bit too runny. Like, she just couldn't quite master that art of, I guess, reducing the bolognese to a restaurant level consistency. So it always came out
Was
watery.
she using frozen mince?
Yes. Is
Yeah.
that the problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solved it.
There you go. Done.
Anyway, well, we could have avoided all this. What my dad did. So what did he do? He spent, I guess, company time at work, getting the graphic designers to do up like a fake. This is before you could just, like, it was just ages ago, to do a fake Brisbane City Council letterhead, and he wrote a letter to address to us at our house, saying Brisbane City Council, we need to investigate a potential water issue at your property. We've noticed that water levels are
Too high.
are too
The
high.
bolognese.
Potentially, an Italian recipe might. Basically, potentially due to like over watery spaghetti bolognese
And he
can often
sent
be
it to
the
your
cause,
mum.
and like got it sent to like I don't know what he did. Just put a stamp on it, chucked it in the letterbox.
Wow.
So
That's a lot of effort. Jesus.
And did she open it?
I honestly can't remember how.
Oh, that's
fantastic.
classic.
She had to put up with a lot.
I've only really sent emails to people that owe me money,
Yeah.
like companies that owe me money. Yeah.
My brother's known for a fiery email to the point where my brother's nickname's Tubby, and we now often make the joke, I'll just send him an email. Because every time he gets the shits, I'm going to send him a fucking email.
I've actually got a bit of a life mantra. I'm not sure. Does Tubby listen? Or?
Nah.
Okay, anyway, if you're listening, Tubby, I've got a... You know how people wear the WWJD bracelets, which is what would Jesus do? Like if you're religious...
I know.
Yeah, well, you know, religious people sometimes wear this bracelet thing, and it just says WWJD, which is what would Jesus do. So
Right.
it kind of just reminds you in life, like if you're religious, like, okay, I've got to act like the way Jesus would act or whatever. I want to get one that's WWTD, what would Tubby do? Because he's just got the knack, like, because I obviously, as you know, I'm a bit of an overthinker.
Yeah.
Tubby is like the complete polar opposite. Is just like whatever the first thing,
It comes
like
in,
hot-headed thing comes to his mind, he just does it.
It sends
And
out.
then I just think, sometimes when I'm overthinking something, I just think, what would Tubby do? So I'll just fucking do it. I'll just fucking send him an
I'll just
email.
abuse that guy.
So that's a good one for me. I got to get the little bracelet.
What would Tubby
WWTD.
do?
What would Jesus do playing I Spy? He'd have to look like that, like through his hand. Anyway, keep trying.
Oh,
You can cut that if you want.
I'll leave it.
What about you, Benji? Fiery email to a company?
Yeah, no, I try to be very thoughtful with emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you always just if you've gone that far with a fire email, you got to just sleep on it.
I've
Let it
got
sit.
one
Yeah.
that's not fiery, but I sometimes get these emails to my Gmail. I've obviously got a similar email address to some other person.
Yeah.
Two of them I've been on this list for some American school class list where they're like, oh, we're organising the field trip, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm on that list.
Yeah.
There's another one where some guy named my name is also like a appliance repair person. I think in the UK I get his emails as well.
Yeah.
I sometimes like to engage in those. Like a particular one for the class list came was they were planning a field trip or something and talking about the menu, and I chimed in on that. And I was like,
especially the menu.
I replied. I was like, yes, you might have the wrong email address. I'm this guy from Australia. So blah, blah. But
Yeah.
I was
Here's what I
like,
reckon,
here's what
yeah.
I reckon. The kids, you got to do these sorts of sandwiches. If you're going to do cordial or Kool-Aid or whatever you call it over there, don't make it too weak. They'd rather drink water than weak cordial. Like, actually just don't skimp on the damn cordial.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got some advice on
So
that.
you behave exactly like you do on this fucking podcast in an email.
I do have an email one.
Ben is the master of these.
Yeah.
I do have an email one that I remember now. When I used to run my own web design agency way back, just with another guy, and we got an email from a client who was pissed off. Well, we got a lot of those. But she wrote in the thing, oh, you haven't delivered this, blah, blah, blah. Not happy, Jan. You remember that TV
Oh,
ad?
Yeah.
Not happy, Jan.
Yellow
So
Pages.
we replied, Tom and I thought, okay, what if we just pretend we don't get the reference? And we wrote back and said, oh, really sorry if you're upset. I'm not sure who Jan is, but, blah, blah, blah. And just kind of pretended for the next 2 years that we didn't know the reference. And we'd even CC Jan at thecompany.name.com.au. I go, we'd be like, hi, Dina and Jan. Hope you guys are both well. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was just the best because every time we had to interact with her, because she was quite a shitty lady, which,
Yeah.
it was just made so much fun.
That's crazy.
Oh,
great.
that's fucking gold.
Not happy, Jan.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
All right, this one's from stablemate Mark.
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 How much impact do you believe coaching has on an elite group of professional sportsmen?
Oh, I think the man management side of it, someone like Wayne Bennett, is a massive influence. And finding out how they're going away from the field
Yep.
and away from sport with their family and those kind of things is a massive impact.
So you think it's more about creating a good culture than it is about coaching them to be better at
Skills
the
and stuff.
sport?
I think if Billy Slater's coaching the Queensland team,
Yep.
They'll know how to play footy.
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
And they've got Cameron Smith and JT and all those there.
Yeah, I often think that with Origin, that you're better off having a spiritual leader as the coach because
Meninga
there's
was
not
good.
enough time, like with Origin, to get them really gelling together as a team
Yeah.
with plays and all that
That's
kind
why
of
I think
stuff.
Queensland try to keep the same team a lot of the time as
Yeah.
well, so that
Yeah.
does happen. Meninga was good for that as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Just
yeah.
like a tough, someone that you respect just from what he's done on the field. And
Yeah. He's a guy that walks in and everyone goes, oh shit, smell my
I remember when Chris Scott took over coaching the Geelong Cats.
Yeah.
And they won the premiership with him in his first year of coaching the Cats, first year ever coaching.
Yeah.
And I publicly said,
you could have won the premiership.
Yeah, they would have won they were fucking so good. They would have won the premiership if I was coaching.
Yeah.
I reckon it depends on the sport as to how much strategy there is in the teamwork involved in the game. Like AFL, I think there's a fair bit of strategy about how you play against a certain team, like really research the opposition, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Cricket, for example, I think Warney was on record saying we don't, like, it was when John Buchanan was the Australian cricket team coach.
Ponting was captain or something.
Yeah, the Ponting days, that sort of stuff. And I think a few, Warney particularly, and I think maybe another couple of them were on record saying we don't need a coach.
Yeah.
Like, because he was just trying to implement this a certain way of like, you guys all got to be curfew. And I think Warney was like, we don't need a coach. We know how to play cricket. It's not. You got the captain in cricket is more important.
Yeah.
Like that's an experienced
Team
cricketer on the
culture's
field making decisions.
key, though.
Sorry.
Team culture is key.
Team culture is definitely a thing. But
I know my experience with coaches, and I was never elite. I played A grade, mainly reserve grade, but A grade in Toowoomba Rugby League. But having different coaches through juniors and seniors, I gelled with different coaches, obviously, and got better. And the last coach we had before I retired in reserve grade, he just got us.
yeah.
And we all clicked, and then we ended up winning the premiership that year.
Yeah.
But the previous years we had different coaches, and it just didn't have that culture. You know what I mean? You kind of weren't playing for each other. Where if a coach can come in and make you play for each other,
Yep.
even if they're not too far into the plays, or obviously you're doing defence drills and setting up your defence
Yeah,
plays.
I think sometimes you have a specialist for that. Like you have the spiritual leader, and then you have a defensive guy who may not be the leader of people, but he's like, okay, this is how you defend guys.
That's right.
This is how you attack.
Yep.
But there's the spiritual leader at the top who's the coach who just sets the tone for the team.
Yeah.
I actually think Wayne Bennett was pretty good at this, but just weeding out the bad apples and just having a no shit attitude.
Yeah.
Like if there's like one bad player, like some player with a bad attitude can actually poison the whole team. I've been in like just amateur teams where that's happened. There's one player.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of him now, which I won't say his name. But
Name and shame.
just
Avid stablemate.
but just like you make a mistake, he's bloody yelling at you, all that sort of stuff. Years ago, and it really did. It made the team not enjoyable. You just worry about, and it just destroyed the whole morale of the team.
Yeah.
So what we needed was a coach to say, "Listen, mate."
Oh, that was close.
Here's your first warning. If it happens again, sorry, you're not going to be.
Yeah, and that's all about culture. I think it's more about that. Like you see so many teams where that coach has not got their buy-in. Yeah. Even now with the Golden State Warriors, they've had so much success, 4 titles.
Yeah.
But like basketball is a sport where the coach does a lot. Like they choosing when players are on, when they're off, working out the combinations, all that kind of stuff.
And if you don't follow their plays.
Yeah, but right now, with a new young team, I don't feel like Steve Kerr's got their buy-in.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a little bit of disharmony there, especially with what's happening with Draymond Green and stuff like that. So I think it is more about culture.
Yeah. It's
and
funny
that's
how
what you're talking about.
It's funny how players can sometimes dictate that as well. If enough of the players don't buy into the coach,
coach is gone.
Coach is gone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think coaches are fired too quickly in that respect.
Dane Gagai used to play for the Broncos, and Bennett got rid of him.
Yeah.
Because he was a bit of a muck around, a bit of a shithead. Great player, had great potential, and he went to other clubs down South Sydney. Then I think he's at Newcastle now. But I seen an interview with him, and he said, he had every. He said I was pissed off at the time, but when I grew and matured, I knew, and I learned from those mistakes. So, but Bennett knew.
Well, Bennett's proven it by going to other clubs and doing the exact same thing again.
Yeah.
Like he's got everyone's buy-in.
Yeah.
And everyone knows he's going to take no shit.
Except at Newcastle, he fucked up there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that was good.
That was a good one. Okay, we got time for one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was Andy, was it? No, Mark.
That was Mark.
Yeah, well done, Mark.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
Is there anything that you'd wait in line for a week to do, see, or get?
Pearl Jam concert.
Who's that from?
That's stablemate Sean.
Pearl Jam concert.
Sean.
Would you?
I probably would now because I've never seen them.
Yeah.
I'm
A week.
as I've gotten older, I'm hating lining up, and I've got this thing where I don't know. People feel the need to stand really close to me,
Yeah.
from the back,
Yeah.
like even through COVID and that. And if I can feel their breath on my neck, I get fucking. It's
I
one
went-
of the things.
I went to-
That's my for fuck's sake moment.
We went to
Oh,
fucking DFO 2 days after Christmas, and it was chockers, and I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
We're in the food court, and I ordered a Boost juice, and this woman came and stood right in front of me to the point where she touched the front of my shoes
Yeah.
and was just like
yeah.
3 inches from my face, and I had to stand back. I'm like, get the fuck out of the way.
Oh, I can't handle it. Going a quick one in Croatia. I was lined up to get ferry tickets for us, and this guy stood that, and I could feel his breath. And
That's the worst.
You know, a lot of them speak English and that. And I turned around and said, "Do you want to hop on my fucking shoulders?" Like I just, and he kind of looked at me like. But then I got to the front of the line, and Jess was over the side watching it, and I got to the line, and then I bought the tickets, and then he just walked away. So I don't know he's going to try and pickpocket or something like that.
Maybe,
But
yeah.
I've had it in lineups.
Maybe
for,
he just thought you had a great ass.
yeah, probably like food courts and that, like you said, and people line up behind you. And if they're too close, I say something because I just hate
have
that.
to as well. I
Hate
was
that.
like, yeah.
But I guess
If you're any closer, you're in me.
Pearl Jam, Pearl Jam tickets. A week? I don't know if I could. I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
if it was something where there was going to be a long-term impact, like if I had to get my kids into some certain thing that was going to, like some university that was going to change the
yeah.
course of their life,
The
or something like
University
that.
of Queensland.
Hey?
Oh, the University of
Or something like that, or like a big, some major thing. Because I think sometimes you can line up for something
Yeah.
and you forget it's not actually that good when I'm lining up for. Like, I know I love KFC, but it happened to me just yesterday when I was at Indro when we were going to have that phone call. I really wanted KFC.
Yeah.
Then I saw a line and I was like,
No.
I'll be okay with another sort of burger.
Something
I'm
else.
not going to wait half an hour for a zinger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think the answer for me is I would do it if it was something important for my kids. I would do it if it was insanely valuable. Like if it meant I got plane tickets to
Or $1 million
LA to
or
see an
something.
NBA game or something, then
Yeah.
I'm doing it. But there's no band, no product.
If you've been to
That
the
I would-
AFL Grand Final now, but if you hadn't and you had the opportunity to go and it was Collingwood
No.
a week,
No,
no. Okay.
I just couldn't be fucked.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy.
what would Tubby do? Fucking.
Especially if you got to
Fuck it
fucking
off.
sleep there. I don't even like camping. Can't even camp.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. Thank you very much and good much. Episode 18. We will see you all again very soon.
Fucking horse.